pilot's transaction never gets off the ground.
You made a deal to buy his plane. You took it for a few joyrides.
And the airplane's owner goes into a tailspin.
Did he or did he not pay for the fuel when he used the plane?
Some, but not all. He ordered new tires on the airplane without my knowledge.
There has to be some point where you say, this guy is taking me for a ride.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Raymond Johnson is suing Randy Briggs for airplane rental fees, hangar fees, and unauthorized charges.
Order. All rise. It's case number 81 on the calendar, the matter Johnson versus Briggs.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Johnson, did you advertise your plane for sale?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
In what month and year?
It was advertised in August 2016, Your Honor.
And is that when Mr. Briggs answered the ad?
Yes, he did.
Prior to that time, you didn't know who he was. Is that correct?
No, I'd never met him. I met him through him responding to the ad.
Okay, and how much were you selling the plane for?
$42,000.
And Mr. Briggs has pilot's license, is that correct?
I never saw it, but
Do
he
you have
told
a
me he
pilot's
did.
license? When did you get the pilot's license?
Would have been 2005.
Did you ever own a plane yourself?
No.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Briggs?
I'm a business owner. I do landscaping.
You're a landscaper?
Yes.
Is it your own company?
Yes.
How many employees do you have?
3.
My understanding is as follows, Mr. Briggs. You negotiated with Mr. Johnson on the price of the plane. He was advertising it for $42,000. What price did you agree on?
The 42.
So you agreed to pay the full purchase price?
Yes.
That should have been your first clue, Mr. Johnson. Okay, but you said, I need financing. I have to finance it, so you needed a little time to find financing. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
And financing, you go to a bank.
You go to a bank or an aviation lender online.
You have a landscaping business?
Yes.
You have 30 employees. What bank do you use to
3
pay?
employees. Your Honor.
3. Oh, I thought you said 30. 3
No,
employees.
3.
See, who are they?
Well, they're illegals.
Whom you pay in cash?
Yes.
Are you paid in check or cash?
Check.
You pay yourself by check.
Yes.
And what bank do you use to cash those checks?
UCCU.
What is that?
It's a Utah Community Credit Union.
Now, who were you supposed to get your financing from?
It'd be Utah Community Credit Union.
When did you make an application to them?
It would be the following week.
So that would be in August of 2016.
Correct.
Do you have anything in writing from the credit union?
I do not, Your Honor.
Why not?
I did not bring that because they denied me.
Well, if they denied you, then you would have gotten a letter.
Correct.
And you would have had to put in an application.
I did put in an application.
Do you have a copy of the application?
I do not.
How do I know it exists? Where did you think you were coming today?
To settle a case.
No. You were coming here because you had a defense. And your defense was, well, it took a very long time, but I ultimately couldn't get financing. Unfortunately, during that time, you took a couple of private rides, and you took Mr. Johnson for a ride. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I would like to see a copy of the application to your credit union, which I'm sure they still have on file, and a copy of the letter that they sent to you, when that was, indicating that they were denying the loan. Do you understand what I'm asking you?
Yes.
Get it!
Okay.
We'll see you back here in a minute. Get it. Case will be recalled.
Parties are excused. This case will be recalled.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
In what month did you first use the plane?
Well, I went up with Ray.
Month.
October.
In what month did you make an application to the credit union?
October.
Why? What happened to September? You don't like September? There's something wrong with September?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. In a case earlier today, Raymond Johnson says Randy Briggs tried to scam him regarding the sale of an airplane.
That's a recall case number 81 in the matter of Johnson versus Briggs. You're welcome. Parties are reminded you're still under oath.
Okay, Mr. Briggs, we're going to come back to you. I assume, sir, since I don't see a whole bunch of papers in front of you, that you did not get your loan application nor a letter from your credit union which said that your application for the loan was denied. Is that correct?
Correct. I did, however, spend a couple hours on the phone with them.
I don't care whether you spent a couple of hours on the phone or 6 months on the phone. I mean, today you were coming to court. Today you had to establish that in good faith you made an offer to purchase the plaintiff's plane, and that in good faith you made an application for a loan because you said, I need some time. And in good faith, based upon your commitment to purchase the plane, the plaintiff let you use the plane at your request, something that it would have been quite expensive should you have paid for the rental fee of renting a plane. Have you ever rented a plane before?
Yes.
And how much does it cost to rent a plane?
About $110 dry.
$110?
Dry.
Is that an hour?
Yes, without fuel.
Okay. And I know that originally you did not pay for the fuel, but then you paid for the fuel that you used. Is that correct?
Some, but not all.
And how many times did he use the plane, and in what months?
The best I've been able to reconstruct from the records that
So you don't have to say anything. Mr. Briggs, let's come back to you, sir. August, you made a deal to buy his plane. In what month did you first use the plane because you were going to buy it?
Well, I went up with Ray.
Month.
October.
Now, in what month did you make an application to the credit union?
October.
Why? What happened to September? You don't like September? There's something wrong with September?
Nothing's wrong with September, Your Honor, but I went flying with Mr. Johnson.
No, I'm asking you. You made an offer for the plane in August. He accepted in August. The contingency was you had to get financing for it. But you saw the ad and you agreed to pay full price in August. You didn't make an application, according to you, until October. So my question is a simple one. This is your father, right?
No.
Who is it?
He's a neighbor, my witness.
Better be careful if he's going to be a witness. Do you understand? Perfect. What was wrong with September in making a loan application?
September, I could not make the loan at the time.
Why?
Because I needed a down payment, I need 10%.
When did you give him the 10%?
I didn't give him the 10%. Ever.
Right. And so the first time you used the plane alone was in October?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you go in October?
Just around the pattern.
How long?
I'd say about 40 minutes.
Who was with you in the plane?
That would be my neighbor. The first time.
Shh. I'm not finished. Second time you used the plane was when?
Second time would win
Month.
November, a week before Thanksgiving.
Where did you go?
To Bear Lake, which is an hour and a half away, and back.
Same day?
No.
So you landed in Bear Lake?
No. We landed back at Evanston Aviation.
Is that where his plane was hangared?
Yes.
Well, when you say you went just back and forth, somebody dropped you off?
No, there was no drop-off. It was just a flyover Bear Lake, a scenic look.
Okay. And the flyover in Bear Lake, you had a passenger?
Yes.
Who was the passenger?
Excuse me?
Who was the passenger?
It was a soon-to-be brother-in-law.
When was the next time you used the plane?
November, we went in January.
Where did you go in January?
Nowhere, because the winds were so bad I couldn't take off.
Where were you going?
Pattern altitude, touch and goes.
When do you want me to believe? You made the loan application in October. When do you want me to believe you got notified that they weren't giving you the loan? When do you want me to believe? Give me a month. You got where I'm going?
I get where you're going.
You got where I'm going. I mean, you have to be an idiot not to get where I'm going. You had the use of a plane for 6 months. You didn't get up a down payment. He, in good faith, kept the plane hangared, took it off the market.
But, Your Honor.
Took it off the market, didn't show it to anybody else because you said, plane is mine. You took it for a few joy rides. You took your brother-in-law out for an hour and a half. You took your neighbor out. Have you ever been in a plane before? Just as that's either a yes or a no.
Yes.
Private plane.
Yes.
Okay, how many times?
Once. Prior to this.
Once. How old are you?
67.
So at 67, this is a twice-in-a-lifetime event. You got to go in a private plane.
Right.
Perfect.
But, Your Honor, Mr. Johnson and I had arrangements. He was going to carry the note, and I was going to give him a truck for $2,000 to carry the note until I paid the plane off.
Show me.
I do not.
Show me. Show me that was your arrangement. I mean, 2 seconds ago, you said, I made a request for a loan with the credit union.
Got denied.
And I was denied. When did you tell him that?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Sounds stupid to you, sir?
Nothing. Sounds pretty funny to me.
What?
Sounds funny.
It is fun. And you wouldn't believe that, right?
No.
Nah, like I don't believe him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Raymond Johnson claims Ray Briggs defrauded him regarding the sale of an airplane.
Show me.
I do not.
Show me. Show me that was your arrangement. I mean, 2 seconds ago you said I made a request for a loan with the credit union.
Got denied.
And I was denied. When did you tell him that?
I told him that after I got denied.
What month?
October.
So you made an application, according to you, if you want me to believe that, in October. You were denied the loan in October. And after that, he let you fly the plane either once in October or at least once in November and once in January, twice, or maybe more. Even after you told him you weren't going to buy the plane with a loan from the credit union, and he was going to hold a note for the $42,000.
Correct.
Is that what you want me to?
Yes.
Show me. Show me a text message. Show me an email. Show me an anything. Show me. Show me a something.
Is it okay if I get my phone out?
Absolutely.
Here's the bill of sale for the insurance to get it switched over to my name.
Just a second. Let me see where you have a conversation with him anywhere. Just show me. Don't tell me what it is. I can read. That he's going to carry the note and you're going to give him a truck.
Here you go.
Okay, great.
Here's one conversation you'd be interested in.
Great. Oh, there's something just moved. Okay. What is that? What do you want me to read?
Just notification I was taking up the plane and he knew about it at that time.
He didn't say he didn't know that you were taking it out. That's not what we're here for. We're here, sir, because I think you're a scammer. Because I think you never had any intention of buying this plane. I think you never made a loan application to the credit union. Otherwise, you would have been able to, in 4.5 hours, to get me some proof of that. I don't think you ever got notified that your loan was turned down in October. I don't think you ever notified him that your loan was turned down in October. I think that you got some free flying in. And what he's suing for is hangar fees for 5 months based upon, or 6 months, based upon your fraud. Because I actually think that that's what this is about. It's like saying, putting my house up on the market for sale. Oh, I love your house. I'm going to buy it. I'm making a loan application. In the meantime, I'm giving you your full price for the house, no negotiation. But I need to live in the house until my loan comes through. Sounds stupid to you, sir?
No. That sounds pretty funny to me.
What?
Sounds funny.
It is funny. Hey, you wouldn't believe that, right?
No.
Nah, like I don't believe him.
No, you should believe him, Your Honor.
No, I shouldn't believe him.
Yeah.
I shouldn't believe him because he took this guy.
No.
Yeah, he did. Otherwise, I would see a loan application here from the credit union. Right here, looking at it. What are your hangar fees per month, sir?
They're $150 a month, Your Honor. And they went from October to March. At that point in time, I had resold the airplane as soon as I put it on the market. And then...
In March?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to carefully, that's $750. I want you to carefully tell me what things he charged to the plane that
Yes,
you
Your
paid
Honor.
for.
I have some...
Make it simple for me because I'm a simple gal. Because at some point, Mr. Johnson, you look like a very bright man. You own an airplane. That's a big investment. At some point, you have to say, I met him for 5 minutes, and I got the story. So there has to be some point where you say in November, December, January, this guy is taking me for a ride. He has no intention of buying this plane. I haven't seen a red penny from him.
Well, you have better insight than I do, Your Honor. And
Clearly. Just so you have to keep it simple for me because I may have insight, but I'm a simple girl. I get from point A to point B in a straight line.
my wife tells me that the essence of genius is to make complicated things simple, so I would agree with you, Your Honor. Number one, I have in my hand, and I'm not sure what has been afforded you for evidence, invoice 2086, which evidences two things. Number one, that he ordered new tires on the airplane without my knowledge. And I first learned of this in December because the airport management people called me.
Don't tell me what they said to you. That's hearsay. May I see that, please?
Yes.
Did you order tires for the plane?
I did. I communicated with Mr. Ray Johnson they need to be replaced because I communicated with Mr. Ray Johnson they need to be replaced. They had a lot of bounce to him down the runway. Prior to that, he knew about that when we went flying together.
How much did you get for the plane, Mr. Johnson, when you sold it in March?
Same price, Your Honor.
$42,000. So you had no loss. Take this back.
Not on the sale of the airplane,
right.
Your Honor.
Fine. Keep going. What's next?
Next, there are some fuel charges.
Fuel charges I'm more than interested in.
Pardon?
I'm more than interested in the fuel charges.
Okay, let's talk about the fuel charges here.
Just that he didn't pay
If I may give those to you, there's one for $166. And there's one for $183, and then I believe on the invoice that you have, because it was also printed out, there's another one on there for about $80, $74.63 if I had my glasses.
No, not on here.
It's on that one, Your Honor, the smaller copy.
Let me see what you paid in fuel.
Here you go.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
His problem is that I think he scammed you.
Well, of course he scammed me, Your Honor, but if you will listen, I will tell you what occurred so you would understand what went on.
30 seconds, Mr. Johnson.
Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, I don't know what this means, full service.
That means, Your Honor, if they come out and gas it up for you, because they have a self-serve thing that's probably about 20 cents cheaper per gallon.
183 and 166. Okay, and how much did you pay, sir?
I ended up...
No. You.
The 184, it's underlined. It says Evanston Aviation on it.
Okay, that's 183.26. Okay. Did you pay this, sir, this 183.26? Did you pay this?
No, I did not pay that, Your Honor. That was given to me so that I could discover how many hours he'd been using the airplane when I found he'd been doing it.
So you didn't pay 166.
But I paid the 79.
What else did he order or use? Anything else? 715, 166, 916. What else?
He lost my airplane manual, of which I can show that he had possession of it, if you
Not interested. Let's go.
Okay. What else did he use? We have the hangar rent, we have the fuel, and we have the aircraft usage at 7.66 hours.
Sorry, you didn't have a contract with him for aircraft usage. He scammed you.
Well, I'd like to address that point, Your Honor.
You can do whatever you like for it in 30 seconds.
I can
in
30 seconds,
or you will. So far.
Will the court hear that?
Listen, your problem is that if he used your plane, and if what you want me to believe is that you had no knowledge that he was using your plane, then you're not as an intelligent man as I think you are. How many planes do you own?
Well, this is the last of many.
How many planes did you own in March?
In March, one.
One. That's the one that you sold.
Correct.
That's his. Keep better track of your plane. His problem is that I think he scammed you.
Well, of course he scammed me, Your Honor, but if you will listen, I will tell you what occurred so you would understand what went on.
30 seconds, Mr. Johnson. So far he owes you $916 for fuel and for 5 months' worth of hangar.
Okay, Your Honor, part of the scam that he continued to pull was he was also going to sell $600,000 piece of equipment, which I can show you a picture of off of his Facebook.
I don't care. What does that have to do?
That means that he continued to tell me that he was raising the money by doing that. And
at some point, if somebody says, I'm going to buy your house, I'm waiting for the mortgage to be approved, but I must move into it after a month, after 2 months, after 3 months, unless I start to become very friendly with them, I say, you know what? Forget it. I'm advising the FBO where my plane is hangared that you can't come near my plane anymore. We're done. You can't fuel it. You can't order tires on it. You can't do anything. I think that you're full of baloney. You didn't do that.
Oh, yes, I did.
Well, then how?
Because
August,
there are two different
September,
people at the airport that control it.
Well, then sue them. He's going to pay for your hangar space and for the fuel he used, $916. We're done. Thank you.
Excuse me, step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The airport knew that I was trying to sell this airplane. And so when I arrived...
I didn't buy the plane at the time he wanted to, and I think he wanted to use the plane when I was still the owner of it, because we were pretty good friends.
With him, said he was buying the airplane. I never flew the airplane again.
It's pretty hard to charge on somebody's plane when the tail number's not registered to you. There's a pretty fine line in it.
They assumed that he had bought the airplane, and so they let him fly it.
No, they knew I did not.
They let him charge tires against it, gas against it, on a final reconciliation of the sales price.
I just said that I need to put some tires in the plane. I've talked to the owner of the aircraft, and he's agreed to put tires in the plane.
I had no use for the airplane after I thought it was sold.
He knew every time I was using it, because I texted him and said, hey, I'm taking the plane out. He said, good job.
And so I didn't keep real good track on it.
He's so upset because he sold it to somebody else, he doesn't get to use it no more.
I'm from Wyoming, and there's a code among cowboys there that a man's word is his bond until it's proven differently.